I want to talk about items that we cherish as human beings. So we found some Dead Sea Scrolls. It's the first in 70 years, I believe it said. I guess we'll go over it. And it's from an excavation in Egypt. Very cool. And I want to talk about something else before. Elvis Presley. All right, check this out. Iconic 68 comeback special guitar could get 1 million in auction. It's the guitar that he had gone off, had a hiatus to do movies and stuff and act. And I guess this was his coming back onto TV, playing live. And that was the guitar he used. I mean, it's Elvis Presley. Everyone loved him at the time. And, he's something of a legend. People love to be like, well, he stole music, which may be true. And probably it is true. Who cares? Like, it's no, I mean, it's not like I don't care. Like, we should recognize who he stole music from, which was, who is it? Sister Rosetta Thorne, right? Yeah. Or Tharp, that's it. Rosetta Tharp, that's the woman I'm thinking of. Yeah, she was like the original blues player, right? She was incredible. And, Elvis took songs and made them famous. And, it goes to the musical appropriation stuff that I talked about last week with Ian. Did he take some songs? Yeah, and he probably should have given people credit for them. But was he also inspired? I don't know. I'm not really here to talk about Elvis. I know people get upset when there's always those SJWs that are like, well, he stole music. It's like, okay, well, yeah. I mean, Chef du jour, shout out to my chat, saying Elvis always showed respect for his influences. I don't actually know about that, but that wouldn't surprise me, because that's what Bruno Mars was saying. He talks about how, look, if you look at any of my interviews, I'm always giving credit where it's due, which is my influence, the greats that came before me, that I'm standing on their shoulders, influenced by the greats. What does their race have anything to do with it? They're amazing musicians that inspired me to want to be an amazing musician. Okay, so, but this guitar, right? Let's focus on the guitar. It's gonna go for $1 million, right? This is what people are about. Human beings. They're it's like pop culture, freaking out about something that he touched, that hit, he had a presence to touch it. I guess it's coming with you're gonna get the sheet music that came with it. They're even selling some other stuff, like his personally owned 14 karat yellow, gold, and blue enamel TCB taking care of business necklace. All this stuff, it's like, that's cool and all, right? It's not that I have anything against it. It just feels so polarizing that that's what we're cherishing, right? When that's, TMZ, they're like, ooh, what's hot, right? When then we got this kind of stuff that is amazing to me. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm like, wow, like, let's talk about this. This is amazing. Dozens of ancient Dead Sea Scroll fragments bearing biblical text discovered in Israel. This is cool. I thought it was an Egyptian archaeologist that found it, but let's see. Israeli archaeologists on Tuesday announced the discovery of dozens of new Dead Sea Scrolls fragments bearing a biblical text found in a desert cave and believed hidden during a Jewish revolt against Rome nearly 1900 years ago. The fragments of parchment bear lines of Greek texts from the books of Zechariah and Nahum and have been dated around the 1st century AD based on the writing style. According to the Israel Antiquities Authority, they are the first new scrolls found in archaeological excavations in the desert south of Jerusalem in 60 years. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of Jewish texts found in a desert cave in the West Bank near Qumran in the 1940s and 50s, date from the 3rd century BC to the 1st century AD. They include the earliest known copies of biblical texts and documents outlining the beliefs of a little understood Jewish sect. The roughly 80 new pieces are believed to belong to a set of parchment fragments found in a site in southern Israel known as the Cave of Horror, named for the 40 human skeletons found there during excavations in the 1960s, that also bear a Greek rendition of the 12 Minor Prophets, a book in the Hebrew Bible. The cave is located in a remote canyon around 25 miles south of Jerusalem. The artifacts were found during an operation in Israel and occupied West Bank conducted by the Israeli Antiquities Authority to find scrolls and other artifacts to prevent possible plundering. Israel captured the West Bank in the 1967 war, and international law prohibits the removal of cultural property from occupied territory. The authority held a news conference Tuesday to unveil the discovery. The fragments are believed to have been part of a scroll stashed away in a cave during the Bar Kokhba revolt, an armed Jewish uprising against Rome during the reign of Emperor Hadrian between 132 and 136 AD. Coins struck by rebels and arrowheads found in other caves in the region also hail from that period. We found a textual difference that has no parallel with any other manuscript, either in Hebrew or in Greek, said Oren Abelman, a Dead Sea Scroll researcher with the Israel Antiquities Authority. He referred a slight variations in the Greek rendering of the Hebrew original compared to the Septuagint, a translation of the Hebrew Bible, to Greek made in Egypt in the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC. When we think about the biblical text, we think about something very static. It wasn't static. There are slight differences, and some of those differences are important, said Joe Uziel, head of the Antiquities Authority Dead Sea Scrolls Unit. Every little piece of information that we can add, we can understand a little bit better how the biblical text came into its traditional Hebrew form. And this is them doing research on the pieces that were found. They're small, but they're there. It's pretty cool. Alongside the Roman-era artifacts, the exhibit includes far older discoveries of no lesser importance found during its sweep of more than 500 caves in the desert. The 6,000-year-old mummified skeleton of a child, an immense, completely woven basket from the Neolithic period, estimated to be about 10,500 years old, and scores of other delicate organic materials preserved in caves' arid climate. In 1961, Israeli archaeologist Yohanna Aharoni excavated the Cave of Horror, and his team found 9 parchment fragments belonging to a scroll with text from the 12 Minor Prophets in Greek and scraps of Greek papyrus. Since then, no new texts have been found during archaeological excavations, but many have turned up on the black market, apparently plundered from caves. For the past 4 years, Israeli archaeologists have launched a major campaign to scour caves nestled in precipitous canyons of the Judean desert in search of scrolls and other rare artifacts. The aim is to find them before plunderers disturb the remote sites, destroying archaeological strata and data in search of antiquities bound for the black market. Until now, the hunt had only found a handful of parchment scraps that bore no text. Amir Ganor, head of the Antiquities Theft Prevention Unit, said that since the commencement of the operation in 2017, there has been virtually no antiquities plundered in the Judean desert, calling the operation a success. For the first time in 70 years, we were able to preempt the plunderers. Very cool. And this is the stuff that we need to be cherishing. Not to say that Elvis's guitar isn't worth something to somebody, but I mean, I just see a bigger problem here, right? What are we trying to be? What are we trying to do, right? I didn't want to be a YouTuber. I'm just a YouTuber now. I fell into this. But people want to be YouTubers. They want to be influencers. They don't want to go to the moon. They don't want to be, captain on a starship, because it's not. I mean, growing up, that's what I wanted to be, actually. I love Star Trek, but my dad introduced me to Star Trek as a kid, and I wanted to be in space, no joke, and I might get the chance. I mean, who knows? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? This is who this wonderful Japanese millionaire, Yusaku Maizawa. He's the one who's doing the Dear Moon project. This is who he wants to put on there. Now, who does this musician look like to you? I mean, who could that be? I mean, I've got the long hair, it looks awfully close to me. I don't know. Wait, hold on, check this out. This is my buddy. Let me zoom in on this. Look at this. See? Who does that look like? That looks just like me, I swear. I swear that looks just like me. Like, they did this. They said, we want a dancer, a novelist, a musician, someone that looks just like this. And I was like, that's me. I'm pretty sure that's me. Anyway, I'm very excited about that. It could happen. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm excited because the chance is there. He wants artists. He thinks that art and music is the future and how it's going to bring it together. And I agree with him. And I also think space is part of that, which is kind of cool that he is, bringing artists together to go to space. So it's a project that I think is beautiful. It's amazing. And it would be an honor to be a part of it. Who knows? I don't know. I've got my, I'm just putting it into the air, just putting it out there because why not? I would love that.